What's up, everyone? Good morning, Garen. How are you? Thank you for being here. I want to thank you guys so much for being here on WINJECT TV. I love being here. It's powered by WINJECT Studios. And I am Neena Perez from Straight Talk No Sugar Added. And as you guys know, I always come on here and I do my little spiel, if you will, of WINJECT because it's so freaking phenomenal, right? So what I want you guys to do is make sure that you get onto our free community. And the way you do that is winject.com/register. And you go on there and you develop your profile for free and come on here and be part of my community because I really, really want to connect with you guys on a multitude of levels. And when you join my community, you get to see a lot of like episodes that haven't been released yet. You get to see that I'm running a course back there. We get to do Zoom calls and stuff like that together. And I'm trying to really build that out. So please go ahead and join for free on winject.com/register and make sure that you put Neena Perez or Straight Talk No Sugar Added so that we can connect, okay? I'm here today with you live right now, all right? This is me. So if you are watching live, please go ahead and drop a good morning. Let me know that you're here. And while I am talking, if you guys have comments or anything, I love to answer those as we're moving along. So make sure that you do that because I like to connect. That's just my thing. I am an extrovert and being around people and also just experiencing community is really, really huge for me. So I want to make sure that you guys are here, that I could see you, whatever, because I don't know who's here unless you say hello. So say hello to your girl. All right. So I wanted to talk to you guys because there's one like theme of things that I have been seeing in the last couple of, I say weeks. And it's this thing about feeling stagnant. This thing about good morning. Oh, I want to show you guys this now that was hubby. So I want to show you, look what he did for me today. He went off to work and then he made me a ginger lemon tea and he put a little sign on it. Sorry to embarrass you, babe, but it's so cute. Anyway, so one thing I have been discovering is this thing about feeling like people are feeling off track. And I think what's happening is because we are like, what are we? We're in May. And people had these like grandiose goals that they had for January. Now they're feeling like really stuck and they're feeling like they're not even getting their mind right. They have too many things on their mind. And so what I wanted to talk about a little bit was about getting your mind back on track, because a lot of times we will see that we feel a little bit like distorted, right? We don't feel like we're going in the direction we're supposed to be going. You're welcome. And we all suffer these setbacks. I know I do. And I have been feeling a little bit of it too, right? This setback and feeling a little bit deflated. And, we cannot sustain being 100% all the time, of our best, right? And I think that that's what we need to realize is that we're freaking human beings. And we need to stop letting all of these little moments where we feel stuck being, to become our demise. Like, then we can't do anything, right? So we have to do is really just tell our brain, listen, we're going to have setbacks. We're going to have things that we are not going to be happy with. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have moments in our lives where we don't feel like doing anything or we feel overwhelmed. And guys, that's normal, right? So don't let those feelings make you feel like you're lost so that you stay stuck in that, right? I mean, you may be feeling a little bit overwhelming. Maybe you're adding too much stuff to your plate, right? Now, last week I talked about being a victim or a victor. It's kind of going into this. You can either sit in that, right? Knowing that you are really being challenged, that you're really feeling stuck, that you really can't, like you really can't put your finger on exactly what it is you are doing wrong or what you want to do, but stop letting yourself stay there. Don't be the victim of that mindset, because the truth is you are always going to do that. I was thinking about something and I don't even know if this is, out there. I don't know if this is, part of like the neural pathways of our brain and psychology. But I noticed that all of us have a cadence to our life, right? We have this cadence throughout our lives and throughout the years. And I think we have to give ourselves that grace and give ourselves that, okay, it's okay to be there. Like, I noticed that there are times that I'm revving up, I'm working. And then I kind of like come down, like maybe every couple of months I come down a little bit, and then I'm like steady and stagnant, and then I come back up, and then I realize that every like 6 months or so I'm feeling this cadence in my life where I need to kind of like slow down, regroup, be with myself and all of that. And I don't know if that's a rhythm of life. I don't know if that's just the way our brain works. I really have to dig into that a little bit more. But what I realize is not just me. A lot of the people that I'm coaching and mentoring, they're going through this cadence that I've noticed every couple of months. Because I lead a big team, I noticed it in my team members. Like I'll notice when they're here for a little while, and then 3 months I see a drop off, and then back up, and then I see a drop off. So I think there's something to that, right? So what I think we should do, and I'm not the expert at everything, right? But what I think to get our minds back on track is we need to realize that these things are going to happen. Reflect on what it was that we intended to do from the beginning. What is it that we really wanted in the beginning? And then pivot, right? If we didn't pivot already, we need to learn to kind of shift ourselves a little bit if we have to, and be okay with that, right? Maybe your head is not in the game right now. Well, give yourself that space. Maybe you don't need to be in the game right now, right? And maybe you just need a second to like pause and be with you, right? Now, here's the thing. You can choose to stay lost also in that confused state where you're not going anywhere, doing anything, and you have 100% of the right to do that. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not going to serve you well, right? So you either the victim or the victor, really, right? So you either choose to stay in this lost space where you're not really moving forward or doing anything, or you can regroup and find where your path went on. Where did you go off your path, and where is your path? Right? But because at the end of the day, the choice is going to start in your mind. And as for me, like, I realized that I have been super, super stressed, and I've been letting that super stress make me feel kind of lost. And I mean, I was telling my husband about this because I went to see the doctor. I mean, this is how stressed out I am. I just released a little video about this morning. I went to go see my doctor, and my doctor had like all this stuff that she had to tell me about my thyroids and blah, 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 because I've been concerned about my hair loss and gaining weight and all this other stuff. And I was very stressed out about that. And so I went to go see her, and she confirmed a lot of things I was stressed out about. And then I went shopping, whatever. I got home, I get on my car, and I, come and bring my groceries and whatever. And guys, I had just filled my tank up with gas, and I totally left my car running all night long. And when I got in my car today to go do a couple of errands, voila, I barely have any gas left. I think I'm like 40 miles to empty. And I had a full tank, like 300 miles, full, right? So I'm a little bit like, what is going on here? And I realize it's when you are overstressed, when you have too much going on, when you think you need to know everything and do everything, you get your mind off track. You're not back where you need to be, right? And so one of the key things for me is having gratitude right now, right here, for where I am right now, right here with you on WINJECT TV, with this amazing company, but with also my platform and what I do. And I have to be grateful for this. I'm really proud of me, right? I have to look at what I have, what I've accomplished already. And I have to do this without adding negativity to it, because a lot of times we can say, oh, I've accomplished this, but I could be further along. Oh, I'm grateful, but, I wish I had. And when you start to have gratitude, that means having real gratitude and not adding that negative but to it, or what if to it, right? When you're grateful, then be grateful and remain in that positive space, right? That appreciative space, that space where you're going to have joy in your life. And sometimes that's what you need to do. You need to just kind of be grateful for where you are right now. Another thing I realized, for me to get my mind back on track, is I have to unplug. I have to unplug from everything I'm doing, especially and I can't remember the word for this. Chris, if you know the word for this, type it in there, because I know you know a lot of great things when it comes to entrepreneurship. But there's a word for this when you are doing something too much of. Like, so say that you have too much social media, too much TV, too much podcasting, too much news, too much. The thing is that in when you first did it, or when you first experienced it, you loved it. And so you keep trying to hit that dopamine hit. Keep trying to get that dopamine hit every time. But what happens is when you do this too many times, now you feel deflated. Now you feel like you can't really connect. You're feeling a little lost and you don't know why. But you've oversaturated your brain with too much of, right? So when you're experiencing something for the first time, I know you guys like that first love, or that first dessert, the first time you had that bite of that amazing dessert, right? And then you keep eating the dessert, hoping that every other bite will give you that same hit as the first one, but by the end you're deflated. It's not what you thought, right? So it's that feeling, and I know there's a word for it. It's about the neural pathways, blah blah blah. I'll try to remember what it is. But you have to remember that too much of something is also not good, right? And so what happens is we keep doing it over and over again. And now, because we're not getting stimulated, we feel deflated. We feel like we're off track. But really, maybe you just need to back up. Leave it alone for a minute. Leave it alone for a while. And then come back to it. And maybe come back to it with a different cadence and a different point of view and a different way of looking at things, because now you can come at it with not full force all the time, right? It's like, I noticed that I was on my phone and I'm like scrolling. And what happens is that now it's not inspiring me anymore. Why? Overload. It's too much of an overload. And when you have an overload like this, it takes you completely off track. Your brain cannot do it. So leave it alone. Step back from it. Unplug. Back up. I know that some of us work in the social media space. I get that. But then limit your timing on when you're doing it, because you have to understand that reward that you were getting, those dopamine hits, are not working anymore. And now you're feeling freaking defeated. Like, oh man, I thought I was so excited about this new business, but because I have to do all the planning around it, I'm not excited about the business anymore. That's not it. Maybe it's because you have too much going on. All right. And that happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of creators, a lot of big thinkers like that. You start to go, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And that's because you're overloaded. All right. You have to understand that your reward is going to be the journey and not the prize itself. I say that because I know that for a long time in my life, I wanted to strive and grow in my career and get 6 figures, right? Oh, it had to be 6 figures. It's 6 figures. That's what I want, blah, blah, blah. All I focused on, and I went. And instead of me enjoying, and I did sometimes, but not always, enjoying the journey that it took me to get there, I was looking at only the prize. And what happened is when I got it, I was deflated. It was not what I thought, right? I was sucked to have that feeling. I felt so like, okay, kind of like uninspired. I didn't really care. And I know that if you're watching me and you're not at 6 figures, you're saying to yourself, oh, that's because you're there. I promise you, it's not that. It's the fact that we don't sit in really taking in the moments and really taking in the journey, because we're too focused on the prize, on that big thing that we want. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, okay, now what? Right? Because you've been working so hard for it. So take yourself a second, unplug a second, back up a second, right? And just try to think about the journey of where you're going, and try to really love every single freaking moment of it. Because as much as sometimes these journeys feel hard and sometimes they suck, because life has that, like, life gives you moments where it sucks. At the same time, it'll make you enjoy where you're going as opposed to just the prize. Because when you get there, then what do you want? The other prize. right? Then the other prize, like now I want to go to 7 figures, right? That's my goal. And I'm hoping to do that hopefully within the next year. I'm trying to go for it sooner, but that's what I'm hoping for. Here's the thing though. If I don't enjoy being with you right now, pouring into you right now, having this experience right now, when I get to 7 figures, I'm gonna be like, oh, but now I want 8. You see you see where I'm going with this? So make sure that you really think about why is it that you're getting off track? Why is your mind off of the track here? Why are you feeling defeated? Why are you feeling deflated? Why are you feeling freaking tired and don't want to do this shit no more? Right? And I think any big entrepreneur will tell you that this is important, right? That reflection, that stopping for a second, that looking at see if things need to pivot, really focusing on why you are uninspired, and stop just becoming a victim of, oh, I don't know what to do, and living in this la la space. Okay, try to think about what you're doing. Think about what you are thinking about. That's important, and it's important for you to be able to move forward to where it is you really want to go, right? And as you're going, what does it mean for you every freaking step of the way? So immerse yourself in that thing that you want to experience along the way, and stop coming up, saying like, I feel flat, I feel defeated, I feel lost. All of those things are real. Those are real feelings and real things, but those are momentary things. Don't stay stuck there. Don't stay stuck there, because you're going to wake up one day and you're going to look up and it's going to be years that's gone by and you're still stuck. Don't do that to yourself. Okay. I recommend pausing, like I said, stepping back, unplugging, rethinking, hiring a coach, a mentor, or talking to someone who has maybe accomplished these things already, because I promise you they have gone through this. I promise you they have, right? Write down why you're doing this to begin with. Do you remember that? We talked about that in the past, about your mind's flow, right? Your mindset, and how to have a winning mindset. Write down why. Why do you want to do this for real, right? Because your motivation, that ain't gonna work. I'm telling you right now, your motivation is not going to work. I've been working out 3 to 4 days a week, and I'm telling you, I got no damn motivation to go work out today, but I have to do it. It's on my schedule. I got to get it done, but I don't want to. I don't want to, right? And so just make sure you write down why you want to do this, right? The motivation is going to leave you. It is. But if you really know why you're doing what you're doing, if you really know what it is you really want to accomplish, if you really know that this is the prize that you were going after, it will keep you motivated to keep going when you're not motivated, if that makes sense, right? Don't rely on motivation, guys. Don't do it. I don't feel like it. Okay, you don't feel like it, but does it have to get done? Okay, I don't feel like it, but what can I do to focus on what it is I want? Write down your why, your reason. Why do you even want to freaking do this? Why do I want to be here pouring into you? Because I know the woman I was 20 plus years ago, and I needed me then. Right? And so there's somebody out there that's going to need to hear what I have to say that may help them move forward a little bit faster than I did. Right? I want to do this for my family. I want to do this for me. And I want to feel proud of myself, because for a very long time, I didn't. When you are a Hispanic girl raised in the projects, having sex at 13, having a baby at 15 years old, everybody looks at you and says, you're not going to make it. You better just go ahead and get a full-time job and take care of your kid. That's exactly what I was told, and that's how I was treated. I needed to do this to know that I have the intelligence, the know-how, the will, the abilities to do what it is I want to do and succeed at. And I'm damn freaking good at what I do, right? So I want you to not wake up one day looking around you and seeing, whoa, how much time has passed here. Listen, you're not promised tomorrow. I'm not promised tomorrow, right? So how do you want to spend the rest of your freaking life? Yes, you might get off track. Of course, we all freaking get off track. We all have to look at the track and say, maybe this is not the right track. Maybe I got to turn right. I don't know. But You have to follow what you want to do. You have to follow what you're passionate about, because you're not freaking promised tomorrow. It is so, it just, like, I guess it burns from inside of me that I don't want you to have to stop your life and not do what it is you want to do, and then die in doing what you didn't want to do. That's freaking sucks, right? So don't do it. I want you to focus on what it is you want to do, realize what it is. And also, if you're feeling like you're lost and you can't, yes, you can. Back up. Maybe find someone that'll help you kind of refocus and shift on what you're doing, but don't just shut down, okay? Because if you do, if you just shut down, you're going to lift up your head and 20 years have passed. I promise you. I promise you. I'm going to be 50 this year. I just started doing my self-development work within maybe the last 10 years or so, right? And so it was 30 years of like this victim mentality and all this kind of stuff that I was dealing with. But you have to remember that it's going to be you that has to move you forward, and your knowledge and your physical strength and your mental strength and all of your development and all of that will have to come from you, from within you. So go ahead and find that coach, find that accountability partner, find that mentor, do what you got to do, but do not stay stuck in this I feel lost thing, because you don't have to. You don't have to. You are worth investing in you. You are worth investing in you. You need to be able to see your situation from a new perspective, a new pair of eyes, a new solution, a new step forward, whatever that is. Invest in you, because it'll be worth it. It'll be worth gold. Nobody can take away your knowledge except for Alzheimer's. Other than that, no one can steal your knowledge from you. So invest in you. Write that down. Write down what that big, gigantic, big behind goal you have. Write it down, but remember why. All right. And I want you to actually grab a paper and a pen and write it down. There's something that happens psychologically when you're writing things down physically. All right. Keep it on paper. Keep it around you. Stick it on the freaking computer. Stick it on the wall, wherever you have to do, but put it in front of your mind. Be very specific. Write down what you want. Write down when you want it, and refocus, okay? You can get your mind back on track, guys, all right? Get your mind back, because we're only in May, all right? And everybody's like, oh, you know, it's always 4 months. And this is what happens. We start to have these belief systems in our brain that really contradict where we want to go. Right? Like everybody started dieting in January. So they say that by March, people fall off. The truth is I didn't really start to take it too seriously until like February or so, because I don't start when everybody else starts. And I've been really trying to work out and work on myself. And I'm like, why am I not moving forward? So I'm looking at that now. Why am I not moving forward? Why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel lost in this? Blah, blah, blah. Even Siri's trying to get in a conversation. So I want you to make sure that you guys do not become the victim of this feeling of being off track. I want you to be the victor. I want you to be the victor. Okay. I didn't mean to mix both weeks into one, but this is what happens, right? This is what happens. Get your mind back on track. You deserve to do it. And no one is going to be able to do it but you. All right, guys, this is Neena Perez. Thank you. This is Neena Perez. Amen. Amen. And I'm really, really happy to be here, a part of WINJECT. I am here for the long haul. I love Chris Ross. I love WINJECT. I love all of this. I love my community. I love all of you. But I'm really, really grateful to be here. And I hope that I have at least given you some tools, some inspiration, some tips throughout all these weeks that I have been here, so that you can win at life and not be the victim of anything anymore. This is Neena Perez, and straight talk, no sugar added. Until next time.
This broadcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.